So Dele Alli booked for diving. He misses England's qualifier for a gesture towards the referee. There have been various, not many, but various incidents that the retrospective action for the arm against West Brom. Is Dele Alli a troublesome player with an edge?
No, I think he's definitely got an edge, but the thing, I don't think he's troublesome, because when you look at the incidents and the stuff what he's done, they're quite petty little things. You know, he's not jumping into people like some crazy guy and causing people like career-threatening injuries. He's making silly mistakes.
There have been a few tasty challenges,
There have been some tasty challenges, yeah, but he's playing in a competitive part of the field as well, and he gets tackled a lot, and I'm sure that frustration does come with that. I'm not condoning anything what's happened, but what I'm saying is that the way that this has gathered momentum in what he's done, because he's done some in quick succession, you'd think that he's like some complete nutcase. He's not. He's done some silly things. He tried to cheat the other day. Dele Alli ain't the first person that's cheated. We'll see it, and we'll see it.
Good at that, yeah.
Exactly. You know,
not as good as a lot of the people.
You know, I'm not condoning it, but I'm not going to go with, oh, if you take this away from his game, you take something away. No, because what he's done, those silly things, you have to take out your game. That's just stupid. You know, it's only when you're people talking about, oh, he can't take that away because he'll lose his edge. He won't lose his edge if he loses those little petty things. And that's the only problem I've got with him. Other than that, you know what I mean? Like I say, Alan Shearer gave me a lot of sticks saying that, yeah, he's only 21. Yes, but I still believe he's only 21 and he'll learn. And we need him to learn, because I think he's going to be a big factor if we get to Russia.
Do you think it's about decision-making, Alex?
Yeah, it is. It's about controlling your emotions. You know, so as Ian said, those little petty things, he can easily get rid of those. He's just got to have a bit of self-control there. You know, you think of the tennis players like it, and they're on their own. Like Andy Murray liked to have a real moan at himself, and you wondered if he was losing it because of that. But did it make him a better player? You know, come back to Bjorn Borg. There's a movie out just now. And Bjorn Borg apparently was a nutcase when he was a young kid, but he got a trainer, a mental trainer, and then he became, you know, very self-controlled on the tennis court.
So Gareth Southgate said he's going to have a word with Dele Alli. Does it need to be a particularly serious word, or is it just a calming word, do you think?
Well,
what would you say?
It's probably going to be a calming word. Of course you're going to say, yeah. At the end of the day, what Gareth will probably say, listen, you're only harming yourself here. You know, you're missing games. You're harming your reputation. You know, you're somebody that people look up to. And he's somebody that I believe has got a lot going on with himself in respects of his career and how his career is going to move forward. And, you know, Gareth will probably say, you know, you need to just focus on your game and cut this stuff out of your game. I personally feel that the challenge, he could have actually maybe lifted it in the goal with his left foot. That's the annoying thing about it for me, because it seemed like he'd rather have gone over than try to actually score the goal. And that is the sad thing about that.
What then about those players, and I'm going to ask you this question, who did need that bit of an edge, or that edge, that slight aggression in their game was very much part of their game? Can you think of anyone?
No, I'm trying to think. You know something, Kels? I was always really right on the edge. And towards the end there, I had to go and see someone. It was towards the end. I'm talking about Dele at 21. I was still doing silly things in my 30s because I had that about me. And I'd like to think that I was in control. You know, I didn't get sent off too many times in my career because of stupidness, but...
It was different times there, wasn't it?
It was. But the fact is, Kels, I had a lot of oppression when I was younger in my house with my big brothers, my stepdad, my sister. I couldn't get no aggression or anger out because everybody was always on top of me. I couldn't do anything, and I found that it manifested itself when I was on the football pitch. I'd launch myself into someone and start a fight, or something happened to me from Sunday morning football, and it went with me in professional football as well. And it's something that I had to go and see somebody about. Once they told me where my triggers were coming from, I was able to then think about them, deal with them, and it helped me in the end.
And did you feel that you lost anything from your game? Because that's often the question, isn't it? Is if you teach a player not to react in this way, then they will lose the edge that it gives them.
Yeah, I think that the words like channeling your aggression was one of the best thing ever for me, because when I could feel it when I could feel something bubbling up in me, I'll do something like I'd chase the whole back four. You know that one, especially, you know, the right back pass it to that centre up, and I'd chase them all the way across, and then I'd try and tackle the left back, and it'd get the crowd going, and that give me a buzz, and then, you know, you just try to channel the aggression. That's what I tried to do, chase people down, you know, and do stuff like that where I could just get that energy, what is building up in me, get it out. You know?
You could maybe be young Dele's mentor.
You think so?
Do you think, as a manager, there are players who you would worry about them losing that edge from their game if they said, "I'm going to go and work on getting this out of my game"? That there are players who maybe need that spark to fire. Yeah,
you're right, Kelly. Some of them thrive on it, and the last thing I always said to the players going out was, we don't want the team to lose a man stupidly.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I was always worried about.
Stupid yellow cards, reduce your resources. We don't want that. And therefore, again, self-control when you're out there, or somebody maybe putting an arm around and say, look, don't get involved in that. But you still had players who definitely needed that wee bit of spark, you know, to get the very best out of them. And you didn't mind it as long as they didn't do the silly yellow cards, and there was fines imposed for that. You know, silly ones. Yeah. Sometimes it's fair tackle, but you get a yellow card for it, and you would judge it. But by and large, some players need it, but they all must show a certain control. Yeah. And Dele Alli will learn from these things that have happened to him in the last year. I think he had a bad tackle again in one of the European games where he sent off last year. Yeah. I'm sure he's learned from that. He's a quick learner. He needs to be.
He needs to be, Well, he needs to be, because with Russia coming up, do you think that there is a risk that he could be one of those players who England will be, and they're missing him for one of their qualifiers? Could he do something that could cost them in a tournament?
Well, you know, if you're going to judge him right at this very second now, and things what he's done up to this point, right now you'd probably say, yeah, there's a little bit of a liability about him. If he went to Russia, you know, like, you know, we saw what happened with David Beckham in '98 when he just flicked up his leg, and you saw what happened to him, the repercussions of that for him. He got through it in the end, but I wouldn't like to see that happen to Dele, because I feel that what you want to see with Dele is him the other way, being that getting on the world stage and showing people that he could maybe be the one that's going to become world class for us. I think that he's got that, and that is what he should be focusing on, because God forbid if that does happen in the World Cup, he would really see. You might think that people are on his case now, but then if anything happens in Russia, God willing we get there, you know, he's going to find it be a different world for him.
What would you do if you were playing against him?
Well, I think it's a difficult character to keep a hold of. He was the guy who dismantled Chelsea last year, you know, with the chips to the back post and stealing in between the three defenders. And
would you get into his head?
Would
you try?
I think you would goad him a wee bit, You would definitely goad him a little bit and try and tempt him. And
he will hurt you.
Get off the pitch, you want him to either taken off or dare I say it, sent off. But you certainly have to keep close attention to him. But he makes some great midfield runs, which is a rare sight in the modern game. Again, midfield runners. Frank Lampard was amazing. Yeah. And Dele Alli's got that as well, and he needs to get back to that kind of stuff.
Once he's going to be, I believe he's going to be everything that we all expected to be. I've totally got 1,000,000% confidence that he's going to be the one.
And easily fixed problems, if we're going to use that word.
Absolutely.